Alright, just give me a mic check.
Hello, mic check.
Alright, we are good. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to more Danganronpa, Another Despair Academy. I am Mr. Grinchman, once again along with ACP. In the last stream, well, honestly, what didn't happen in the last stream? We started Chapter 6, did pretty much everything up to the trial, and we found out a ton of stuff. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out where to begin. Well, for one big thing, we found out that we're actually on an island. This laboratory that we're in, this Kisaragi building, is actually on an island in the middle of the sea. And moreover, we found out that the 5th floor is actually the 1st floor of the building and everything else is underground. Which is not something I expected, but makes a lot of sense, given the layout of the building. We also found out a lot of information about how the canon events of the Danganronpa series, specifically 1, 2, and Ultra Despair Girls, which was surprising to me, actually all tie into this game. It turns out that these guys were Class 79 and were scouted early to, I presume, if I remember correctly, cover up the deaths of the student council. So these guys were the next class. And apparently during all the events of a lot of the extended universe stuff, the mangas that happened all before Danganronpa 1, Kisaragi had started to piece together a lot of things that were wrong. And he became worried about it. And in response, he took his class, who, after just becoming president of the Kisaragi Foundation after the death of his father, took everybody to this facility to keep them safe because they could not contact the people inside of Hope's Peak Class 78 for the shelter project. So he took them here for their protection. We also heard that apparently there are external agents that Junko had outside of the Ultimate Despair who some became students of Hope's Peak, which makes me really suspicious that maybe some people in our class were among those people. So we found that out. We also found out and kind of confirmed, nicely enough, that Mikako was apparently adopted by the Kisaragi family after presumably having really no memories of her own life beforehand. So we kind of figured out their connection. We also found out that, well, Akane outright admitted that Monokuma was the one who killed Yamato, and we're still kind of unsure about that. But we'll probably have to figure that out, too. What else did we find out? Let's see what else we found out. Kenjo actually, brought up the idea of us also being different than he remembered. Because he also started to address the idea, a lot of the plot points of our missing memories and who we used to be, until Akane did some BS and said he can't tell us anything until the trial. But he did ask if we remember being a different type of person than we are now, very kind of uncaring. So he brought that up, and then what else did we find out? I'm trying to think what else we did. Yeah, that covers the stuff in the 2nd floor. I covered the headmaster's room. Oh, we also found out about the way Monokuma works. Apparently there are several other Monokumas, but there's one kind of master control Monokuma, Operator Kuma, I believe is what they called him, that stays in the data room and controls all the other Monokumas. We found out that apparently he has an advanced AI, sort of like Kurokuma and Shirokuma did in Ultra Despair Girls, where he can act autonomously on his own, and doesn't have to be controlled. We also found out that there was a memory eraser machine in that room as well, which is presumably what caused us all to lose our memories. What else did we find? I think that was it that we found. Oh, and at the very end, before the trial, as we were walking there, we heard a noise from this computer that was in the headmaster's room, which was actually the owner of the building's office that was really odd, which looked to be like Yamato, who was talking about how this was like a last-ditch thing that he had left, and to be aware of, I cannot remember the name of the guy, Utsuro, was that it?
Yes, Suro.
Yeah, who, we have no idea who that is. And so that was a whole really weird thing. But I think that pretty much covers what it is that we found out last time. I hope I didn't forget anything. But this stream, we're starting Trial 6. I don't know how far we'll get into it, but we're going to start it today. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. There's still a lot of mysteries that have to be cleared up. And the stakes are, if we solve all the mysteries, we get to leave on a helicopter and return home safely. At least the four of us. We don't know what's going to happen to Akane. If we fail, I think she outright just said we're dead. I think if we fail, we get killed. I don't think it was explicitly stated, but it's implied. We're dead if we can't solve everything.
Yeah.
So, let's get underway. We also bought a ton of skills with some money right before the end of the stream. So let's check out the bullets real quick, because there's a ton of stuff in here for the bullets. Hope's Peak Academy 79th class. Speaking generally, Hope's Peak, and it is Hope's Peak that selects it one classroom per year, but the 79th class was admitted the same year as the 78. This is because after the 78 students entered the school, something happened, and it was the intention of Hope's Peak to cover it up by attracting attention and recruiting new students quickly. Oh, we also found out about Izuru, apparently. The ultimate goal of Hope's Peak was to create human beings with all talents artificially by researching all the talents of the students. Contrary to the wishes of the school, the completed Ultimate Hope caused an incident. Feeling that the experiment had failed, Hope's Peak expanded and they will try to implement the Izuru Kamakura project again. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm not unconvinced that someone in our class was the person they ran it on again. Potentially Maeda, which could explain why he was so apathetic. Biggest, most awful, or biggest, most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak, a case in which 13 members of the student council were murdered by Izuru, the Ultimate Hope. The academy, which had a huge blow, concealed the incident, but in the end it was spread silently among the students, and eventually a demonstration of activities were centered on the students of the preparatory department, that's the reserve force, became radical about Hope's Peak. Then the school began to collapse. The tragedy, after the most desperate event in the history of Hope's Peak, a large-scale protest took place centering on the students of the preparatory department. The protest became increasingly violent, accelerating the collapse of Hope's Peak. And many reported through multiple media broke out a chain, which has not only put Hope's Peak, but also the world itself in despair, and there was also the pressure, or also always a presence behind every incident, the existence of ultimate despair. The ultimate despair. In Hope's Peak Academy, there are those who use their talents for despair. They are the epitome of all hopelessness, of all hopeless incidents, and the group is called Ultimate Despair. It's centered around Junko Enoshima, the original. Murder class life. Junko Enoshima, the Ultimate Despair, prepared a plan to plunge the world further into despair. The plan was to erase the memories of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy, which were recorded as the surviving members of presumably of Hope's Peak, and cause them to kill each other to have them live in a murder class life. This was in order to input the terror, seeing the symbols of hope kill each other. Which that was weird because it mentioned that they were the only ones who were alive, so I don't know why the school didn't know we were still alive, or how did we survive when everyone else in the school was killed off?
I guess we'll get into that, but it seems like as soon as the main tragedy started, it seems like what's his name? The guy who just died.
Oh, Kisaragi, yeah.
Kisaragi.
Took action right away.
Yeah, and got everyone to this fairly unknown island base. And if none of the main people keeping track of like who's alive and dead had any idea that happened, because I assume Kisaragi like didn't tell a bunch of people that happened, you know. So they would have, quote, disappeared from everything else and be presumed dead.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would have just disappeared without a trace.
Yeah.
So in that situation, you would assume that they probably died without having any evidence otherwise.
Yeah. Kisaragi Foundation. The Ultimate Despair were looking for people who would support their skills for them, and they asked for aid from the Kisaragi Foundation, which was not widely exposed to the media. However, the foundation refused and fought against the Despair. Even the thought of threatening the heir of the future of the foundation, who enrolled in the expansion as the Ultimate Inventor, as hostage, but decided to withdraw from their strong resistance. Ultimate Despair agents. This is what kind of was surprising to me. I didn't expect this. Ultimate Despair is made from students from Hope's Peak, but rarely, even among them, there are agents working outside of Junko Enoshima's eyes. They are called Ultimate Despair agents. Among those agents, those who studied as freshmen at Hope's Peak joined forces, and Junko gave them a special mission. So I presume that Akane was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or became one at some point, so... Monokuma in the information processing room. When Monokuma in the information processing room pressed a button, another Monokuma appeared. According to the Monokuma, the one in the IPR is called Operator Kuma, which Monokuma controls itself. Does this mean Monokuma only controls Monokuma? What in the world is this? Monokuma. This robot is originally created in Toa City, the center of high technology. Its AI was not as good, but it is said that it has a personality mixed with humans by equipping it with an artificial intelligence called Alter Ego. If what he said is true, this alter ego was cloned from Junko Enoshima. Also in the IPR, the countless Monokumas that exist are simply robots. Memory manipulator. This was really weird, this whole thing. A device capable of removing, modifying, and manipulating memories for a certain period of time. I don't know why I know this fact. Yeah, this whole thing was really weird. Like, the fact that he seemed to remember that he knew what it did. Implies that he was not unaware it was going to be used.
Yeah.
Which is very concerning.
Like, he was one of the people using it.
Yeah, that's very concerning.
Yeah.
Okay, these notes, these were all the ones we found in the the office. Note 1, the contents seemed like they only entered Hope's Peak. I think they accidentally heard someone in the student council that there was a massacre at Hope's Peak, but they may have heard it wrong, so they said they'll be quiet. They kept referring to the name of Mikako over and over again. It seems they were using a wiretapping tool to investigate around the school. They said 13 students from the council were massacred, and some member of the council are missing. 3, they witnessed a council member being murdered. The culprit was a student named Mukuro Ikusaba, the ultimate soldier. They wanted to keep this to themselves because their fear, yet the academy was in a hurry to cover it up with the expansion. Later on, by tracking Mukuro Ikusaba, it seems they realized the existence of Junko Enoshima, the true mastermind. Note 4, the writer who has stepped too deeply into the dark side of Hope's Peak is suffering a lot mentally. It seems that Mikako noticed it, and they said their father passed away in the note estimated sometime later. And they said they have to go back to the hometown for the funeral and the inauguration. Note 5, the writer said they'll protect their friends, but they also mentioned that the headmaster prepared a shelter, but their words did not make much sense. It seems to be safe if they go to that place with their friends. In note 6, they said they are suspicious, but Mikako tells them to trust in them. Thanks to her, they fought back, but a single mistake in judgment could put everyone's lives in danger. Their feelings were were vividly wavering. Okay, Kisaragi family photo. This is the picture of Kisaragi and Kurokawa, presumed to be from their childhood, in the room with the headmaster, and the person behind them is Hanzo Kisaragi, the second representative of the Kisaragi Foundation. He seems to be Yamato's father. According to the mastermind's words, it seems that Kurokawa was brought into the Kisaragi family. If that's true, Kurokawa knew Kisaragi from the beginning. Okay, now this was weird, this whole thing. This one's what was on the computer. Memory storage device. According to an unidentified message from the computer in the headmaster's office, it appears there is a machine someone made based on sample data of a memory manipulation device. It is said to alleviate the damage caused by the memory manipulator device, but also said there could be side effects. That a small device was made to be an insurance. What's the true identity of this individual? I imagine that those side effects were the reasons why Mikako had the problem she did.
Yeah, same with
Kisaragi.
It seems like they were both exposed to this thing, which after losing their memories, but the side effects of it caused both of their brains to kind of malfunction.
And finally this. Utsuro. Someone said in the headmaster's office. They said that Utsuro must be stopped. I had no idea who the heck it was or how to stop them. The person in the computer said he is like a vaccine. But before he could say anything else, the screen disappeared. What really was this? I think it's pretty obvious it was a message from Kisaragi. But I have no idea who he's talking about.
Yeah. The vaccine. Vaccine to what?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's all the bullets, so let's get underway here. Begin. I have no idea what's going to happen. Once again, this is blind for me and ACP. Okay, this is different.
Now let's start with the explanation of the final class trial. In this class trial, we'll discuss the truth of the killing school life. If you uncover all the purposes and means of the mastermind, including this killing school life, the students will be victorious. And they will be able to return home safely through the helicopter waiting outside. However, if you can't figure out all of them, you will receive a harsh punishment, and the survivors come to 0. Your killing school life comes to an end.
Does that imply that Akane will be killed too if they fail? Because that would mean no survivors at all. The way he implied that.
I think that also implies, as the mastermind, she's not actually part of the killing school life.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in this class trial, I am also participating in the discussion. Please treat me as a student, not as a judge.
Okay. And surely this will be a fair trial? Yeah, unlike the last one.
Yeah. Where they're just like, oh yeah, he just broke the rules. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Of course! There will be no such thing as slaughtering in the middle, or refusing to admit defeat.
Take it easy, but not too much. We're going to find the truth and get out of here.
Hey Maeda, I'm sorry, but not everyone will. Don't forget we have to punish those guys who made us do this and took the lives of innocents.
Oh, I'm so scared. Well, if you win, I won't stop you, no matter what you do.
Why does he sound so confident? He looks suspicious too.
It's like he doesn't expect us to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of holes right now that we haven't filled in.
Yeah.
I'm not confident at all. There's nothing suspicious. Actually, I'm not sure if we have to go this far, but Miss Taira wants this.
Monokuma-sama, please don't tease them too much. Is everything in order now?
Okay, Miss Taira.
Well, sure.
What is he talking about?
I don't know what that means.
It's just probably some of his nonsense.
Well, you guys, let's discuss the truth now.
Okay. The discussion for the truth. A class trial to uncover the truth of all the events has begun. We investigate what we investigated this time. And based on everything we've experienced so far, let's find out their reasons as much as possible. And we must win. I'll punish the evil mastermind and get out of here alive with my friends.
But if you suddenly asked us to discuss the truth,
Confused on where to start? I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's a ton of stuff.
yeah,
There is a ton. I thought you would be, so I prepared a question from my side. Question. It's not a discussion about a murder case, and the number of people is small, so I think it's better than talking randomly. Basically, you will answer the question I ask, and I will tell you on the spot whether the answer is correct. If you answer each question in this way, won't you be able to reach the truth?
assuming the questions aren't trick questions or impossible to answer.
Yeah.
That's not a bad plan. Start wherever you like.
Okay, so the first question goes like this. The identity of this place where we are now. Since this is the most basic fact that's connected to the truth. Okay, that's easy. The identity of the place we are now. I still wonder what all Kinjo actually knows. And what he doesn't. The identity of the place we are now. There's nothing to think about too long because we've each known for a long time. The identity of this place is... Oh, this. Okay, let me pull up the thing. Okay. I'm glad we're doing this right away.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about it later.
Is this the only one?
That's the only one I could find.
Okay.
But I think it's
Okay,
the
I have it
first
pulled
and
up.
only one
Okay.
of this.
Okay, I have it pulled up. Alright, it's just... Make sure I get the right button. I like how it gives me infinite time. Oh, and it did give me the extra health. Look at that. Okay, so I need the weird semicircle thing. Where is it?
It's the red one.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it is. Is it that one? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Get over there, dude. Stop moving around, dude.
I think you can hit.
Alright, there it is.
It's also a green one down there. I think it's the same
Yeah, I
thing.
see. What's the button to...
It's moving around a little bit slower.
Okay. What button is it to actually select? Okay, it is C. I hate that I have to be like directly on it.
Yeah.
That's really annoying. It's the one over here. I was literally clicking on it. You have to be like directly on these things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's down there again. Come on, I can't go down anymore to click on that one.
We
So
get
stupid, dude. Ah,
Good thing this isn't timed.
yeah, I know. Come on! I literally could not move down to that green one, dude. That's
Kind of
so-
failing right here.
What?
Kind of failing.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, the upside down Y. This one. Right on it, dude. There we go. Backwards S.
I guess it'd be the RA.
Alright, this one right there. Okay, okay, the backwards half circle thing. Is it this one?
Yeah, the blue.
What?
It's the blue one right in the middle.
There we go. Okay, the weird arrow.
That orange. Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's this one over here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, the weird F-looking thing. This one over here, I think?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, good thing this isn't timed. Come on, dude, get it. It's precise buttons. There we go. Okay, and the last one, okay, like an arrow.
Looks like a guy jumping over a track and field
Yeah, it's
hurdle.
over here. Yeah. Like the legs of a dude. You click on it. Right over. There we go. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That's a pain in the butt. But I did it. I did it, though. Okay, we got it. The identity of the place we are now. First, everyone believed it was Hope's Peak, but that wasn't true. The true identity of this is a laboratory owned by the Kisaragi Foundation. The exact name is the third Kisaragi Laboratory. The board near the entrance was almost erased, so I couldn't read it properly. But it seems that this is a research center mainly for software and brain research. Were you laughing?
No, I had a cough.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say though that makes sense that it would be, you know, brain research.
Yeah, that does make sense. I don't think we ever confirmed that, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
What's even more surprising is that this lab is not located in a central city, but is located on an island surrounded by the sea on all sides. We were moved to a place like this without our knowledge.
Is there an island that isn't surrounded by the sea on all sides? Wouldn't that be a peninsula?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the view beyond the 5th floor door that I saw when I first investigated it, it was definitely shocking. I didn't know whether or not it was Hope's Peak, but I would never have guessed it to be this far.
The fact that you guys know that means the door to the outside has been opened.
Well, except the fact that it was an island and the exact name, I already predicted this a long time ago.
Immediately after leaving the ballroom, Makaru explained it to us.
Well, I also made some guesses based on the traces of the Kisaragi Foundation everywhere, and the research facility that cannot be seen as school facilities. Although, there was no collaboration.
Yeah, the door to the outside. That door on the 5th floor reminded me of the structure of the building. The place we actually thought was the 1st floor was actually the 4th basement floor. The place we thought was the 5th floor was the real 1st floor, connected to the ground. I remembered before coming here. After Uehara found Maki's phone, it was only natural that it came out of range from signal. It was in the middle of an unknown sea, and the place we tried to call at the time was the 1st floor of the student dormitory. So we were underground. That makes sense why we couldn't get anything. Meaning the 4th floor basement. Hoo-hoo, that's the right answer. This is the 3rd Kisaragi Research Lab. I think it was a facility built for artificial intelligence research when the Kisaragi Foundation was around here. It seems that it had been neglected for a long time since it had gradually declined since the 2nd CEO took over, and it became obsolete. Oh, and the structure is also correct, but to be precise, it's not a one-story building. It's in a bit of a remodeling right now. Isn't this courtroom an observatory that's about a 4-story high? Originally there was an elevator going up only. How do you know so much about the subject, even though you're not a person from the Kisaragi Foundation?
Not surprising, because I know that much. No, you guys originally knew.
Yeah, I imagine that he told us when he brought us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine...
Or at least thought for ourselves.
Yeah, either we saw for ourselves or Kisaragi straight up told us. Past sense. That means... Okay.
Kisaragi himself informed us. The one who brought us here in the first place.
Hey, Kenjo-sama, stop. Leave it until there. Even if your memories have returned to you alone, don't go too far. The game will be fun. I don't care if it's fun. That wasn't the point. Your point was we just have to solve the mysteries. It doesn't matter how we do it. I mean, there's no stipulation of how we do it. We just have to do it.
Yeah. Game. Don't make me laugh, you rotten bitch. Wasn't it you who told me my ban was lifted when I arrived to the trial? Besides, this isn't a trial murder case. It's just a trial that uncovers the truth. The sense of a game is also enjoyed alone.
No, this is entertainment. Didn't I tell you? Originally I could dispose of you all without having to do this. I only gave you a chance to tell me the truth through my promise for them and entertainment. Imagine them is Junko.
Probably.
Yeah. You have to obey the rules and have a sound trial on both sides. If you don't follow the rules, it's no fun, you know.
What? Are you threatening me now? This is a joke. If this is the case, this isn't a fair trial anymore, is it?
No, it's really not. I mean, if all sides can't like, you know, convey what they know, then that's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just basic logic. I'm doing this for you, you see? There are people who get confused when Kincho-sama goes too far ahead.
Can't be. Kisaragi brought us here? He's really behind on information.
Well, he's behind on everything a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, he's just kind of along for the ride, in a way. The one person who probably didn't deserve to survive by all constraints of logic and reason. He's just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah. And, apparently it's not going to be much help, actually solving this case.
No.
It can't be. Kisaragi brought us here, but the Kisaragi Foundation. Huh?
Don't forget, this is a class trial. It's important to clear up with order and agree with everyone's opinion, and fluttering around that memory of yours alone is like claiming that you found the culprit without any clues and just went around cheating. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's also unfair, so... I don't mean to take her side, but I like to ask this from my side as well. I sometimes wonder how far the truth can be reached only with the information we found out.
Alright, but if you're stuck, don't hesitate to ask for help. Because there must be information the one who has regained their memory knows.
So that's all. Let's go slow, because there's still plenty of time here. So, how far did we go?
You were only told that this place was the Kisaragi Research Lab, Miss Taira.
That's right. This is the third Kisaragi Research Lab. It was not Hope's Peak Academy. Then why are you, the students of Hope's Peak, at this research center in the middle of the sea? Well, that's pretty obvious. Whether it's a game or entertainment, we're also getting to know them. Somehow I feel this was predetermined. But even so, we're getting closer to the truth. The reason we're at the Kisaragi Research Lab, let's discuss. Oh, I know how to do this one. I'm pretty sure I know exactly why we're here. I just gotta get the right bullet. Gotta get the right bullet here. Murder class like Monokuma, Ultimate Spare, Memory Manipulator, Memory Storage, 7-9 class. Hey, my thing's not shaking anymore. Thank you, thank Maki for that skill.
Yeah.
Well, the last memory we had right before we were imprisoned here It was all the day of the self-introductions. We've been erased from our memories after that. But in the common sense, they only remove certain memories. Could such a method exist? Can't exist, right? Okay. Doesn't even make sense thinking about it. Where is it? Just a leap of faith to trust common sense. Just look at the technological level of Kisaragi Foundation. It can be seen that the scientific power of human beings is more advanced than expected. You have my presence here. Thank you, Monokuma, for nothing. The reason removed from the Kisaragi research lab without knowing, it's probably because of the memories of the school life that disappeared, as Makaru and Kinjo said. In order to know why we are here, we need to start with our amnesia. Okay, I know what this is. Yeah, I don't care. Where is it? That's memory manipulator, isn't it? I think it's on whatever Teruya said. Yeah. That skill is very useful.
Yeah.
I'm glad I bought that. Thank you, Maki. Hey, 100 points for that. Thank you. Thank you, Maki, for that. Some kind of machine. Wouldn't it be possible if you used something like that?
A machine? What machine?
That I'm not quite sure. A machine capable of removing, modifying, and manipulating memories for a certain period of time. Maybe... Ugh. Dude.
What's wrong, Maeda?
Nothing, I just felt dizzy. Anyway, wouldn't it be possible to erase our memories using such a machine?
Even if you say it was a machine, what kind of machine is it? Are you talking about fantasies, Yuki? Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but somehow I just... Huh? Why? Why did I naturally think the idea was correct? Are you okay? You seem nervous. Do you not feel well? It's not like that, I was just saying my thoughts. It's no proof.
If there's any confirmation, there is Maeda.
Huh?
As Maeda said, there is a machine capable of wiping our memories.
Really?
You guys don't know because you've lost that memory. But I saw it in my hazy consciousness just before I lost my memory. Like a gigantic mechanical device that swells up in my head.
Was that maybe the huge shadow behind the information processing room?
I can't say for sure because it was dark, but I think that's probably true. What's certain is that the mastermind clearly used a memory erasing device, as Maeda said.
I'm surprised. I didn't think there really was a machine like that. Then what do you think happened to our memories?
Yeah, dude, what are you
Sorry.
Yeah, how else would we have lost it?
They
All
just
at
used a watch swinging from side to side and going, "You are getting very sleepy."
If it wasn't for Kenjo's testimony, I'm sure I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's surprising. But rather than that machine, it's more surprising that Maeda mentioned that machine. What? You don't usually think of such absurd things first, do you? Still, Maeda answered right away without thinking of any other possibility is very amazing. Well, I'm not sure. Somehow I just thought of that first. When something like that came out, it made me dizzy.
Maybe Maeda's memories are slowly coming back.
Perhaps, yeah.
His memories are coming back?
If my memory is correct, that woman, Kane Taira, did that. The machine was still in the prototype stage, so there are some uncertainties.
That's why it didn't work right, or had all the side effects, because it wasn't properly tested yet.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Because if they said this lab was created, I guess, by the first, um,
First president.
first president, and then abandoned by the second, which means that this machine was actually quite old, most likely.
Yeah.
And like I guess was never quite properly brought up to
Yeah.
to
Which would explain
full
all the.
capacity.
So it wasn't more like it erased, it's more like it suppressed everything.
Yeah. It other like the memory. I would say that's actually pretty similar to how the technique that like Junko used in the first game. It was pretty clear that it didn't completely erase memory.
Well, because Hifumi got his back.
Yeah, so both technologies seem to suppress memory rather than completely erase it by like bypassing like the neural pathways that would contribute to the specific memory.
Yeah, because if I recall, when they mentioned in Danganronpa 0 about the memory erasing technology of like how it works, and when they first tested it implies it can't fully erase someone's memory because there's always going to be something that can trigger it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that book, when Junko, who had her memory erased, encountered certain things, it began to like stir her memory and eventually reverted her personality back to what it was. Despite having the memory quote unquote erased.
Mm-hmm.
So it appears even the techniques of the ultimate neurologist could not fully erase memory.
Yeah.
So, and even in the second game, the memory wasn't. Well, I guess in that game it pretty much fully did remove their memories in the second game, because it essentially reset it back. It didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that game technically did. Well, because it was designed to replace memory, so it makes sense that it was actually deleted there. But you're right, in the first game, you're right in that context.
Yeah. My memory came back, but not in a perfect state.
Is that right?
Well, the chatter seems to be getting a bit long, but anyway, that's the truth. The one I used for you all is called a memory manipulation device, since there's no official name for it. In the past, a machine was used by a certain student while improving it. I was also taken over, so I don't know the details of this part.
I'm feeling a bit squeamish, but I can keep going. The reason we were brought to a Kisaragi lab, we must have something to do with that erased memory. Wait, there's something I'd like to know before that. To be able to manipulate memories, Akane Taira, did you erase your own?
Yeah?
That's still in doubt. But at the end of the class trial, you said something out of context. It was hard days to live without thinking about them. Besides, Monokuma said, "Are you back?" It feels like her personality completely changed since she's been acting so far. I can't explain that kind of purpose erasing your own memories. The only problem is that, if that happens to be part of the plan, the future becomes unclear as a result for the mastermind.
I was going to explain a little later, but it can't be helped. As Makaru said, I erased my own memories.
Okay, so I think we kind of knew that, but but why?
Yeah. Is that really it? You don't have any idea, do you? I don't know what your purpose is, but if you erase your own memory, you won't even know your original purpose, right?
That's because in the first place, my memory had nothing to do with the purpose. Just as my memory is back now, I've also prepared the keyword to get my memory back just in case.
That was the trigger word that he said.
Mm-hmm.
So Ultimate Despair literally brought all her memory back.
I guess. I wonder if anyone else has a keyword for their memories, or if that's specifically just something Akane did.
I almost wonder if Yuki has one. He's the only one.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it roughly happened. I'm done with my story, so we're gonna finish talking about me, right?
Still, she really erased her own memory. That's why she used the expression, "this is the real me." But I don't know why. What's the benefit of doing such a thing?
Why did I do that? If you look closely, my memories don't really matter to me. It would be bothersome to consider the number of issues later.
If you've forgotten where you're supposed to be talking, I'll help. Erasing your memories is the aftermath of using a memory manipulation device. And I even said that those lost memories have something to do with why you're here.
Noisy, even if you don't say anything, I know.
Okay. This is kind of a funny translation issue
Yeah.
that I've noticed. Okay, every time they say noisy, I think it's supposed to be translated shut up. Because in Korean, and I believe in Japanese as well, they use the word noisy to tell someone they're, like, talking too much.
Yeah.
So every time they keep saying noisy, I believe, yeah, it's supposed to say shut up instead of noisy. I think that's like a kind of like a mistranslation from the translator.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Anyway, when we woke up, the fact that we were in Hope's Peak Academy or the Kisaragi lab means that we were already in this place before we lost our memories.
That's the way it is, isn't it?
Then isn't something weird? If we hadn't been kidnapped, I don't think we would have come to such a strange place just because we were crazy.
No, maybe the premise is that this is a strange place is wrong.
What?
Didn't she say it a while ago? They did some remodeling. In other words, it's possible that this Kisaragi lab was modified to imprison us from the beginning. It's not a possibility, it's about being right. Isn't it crazy this lab looks like a school? Besides, the surveillance cameras equipped with guns and various machines we saw at the time of execution can only be seen in the latter case, as the latter case. Not only that, we've also been suspicious of the Kisaragi Foundation because the place we went to was the Kisaragi Foundation's lab. On the contrary, the Kisaragi Foundation might have been the ones protecting us.
Oh boy.
It's not just speculation, many clues have already been found. Just as we heard from Kenjo, Kisaragi was originally our classmate. Contrary to what we thought, he might have been in a position to fight against the mastermind. Oh, we gotta do this.
Wait a minute, Yuki. Aren't you getting ahead of yourself?
Teruya, something you want to object to?
Of course, I did my own investigation too. I mean, I've tried to do my own reasoning, but looking at what we found, I can't believe the Kisaragi Foundation is innocent. That is what I believe. If I'm wrong, then please convince me with no doubts left.
I won't deny they are suspicious, but, you know, doesn't mean that they did anything wrong. Alright, let's do this. I think I know how to do this. Okay, I should just slash them all at once. Memory storage, Monokuma, Ultimate Spare, Izuru, Kisaragi. I probably have to use Kisaragi Foundation. Whoa, look at that. Do you see that? I should have said that was what I was supposed to hit right there. That one at the end. I should have read what he said there. Thank you, Kinji. Oh, should I need to be back? There we go. Thank you, Kinji. I think that was Kinji that gave us that one, so...
Well, it hit the cross.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. Teruya, that's not it. Kisaragi Foundation didn't support the mastermind. There's evidence of that on the computers in the electrical room on the second floor dormitory. Just as he said, the mastermind singled out the Kisaragi Foundation, but the Foundation refused to cooperate and fought against them.
I know that too. But that only means they couldn't cooperate voluntarily. Maybe they were forced to follow them, right? That also contained contents that they were threatened to take their successor as hostage.
Easy, it is as you say, Teruya. But didn't you read the end? It's clearly written there that they were going to keep their hands off from the Kisaragi Foundation considering their profits and losses. In addition, there's another reason why the Mastermind didn't need to seek help from the Kisaragi Foundation. So obviously, if you look at the technology used by the Mastermind, they received some help there, but not from the Kisaragis. That means they already received aid from somewhere else. There must have been evidence that place is... I don't know, actually, I'm not sure.
I think it's the Monokumas from Toa.
Oh, yeah. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's why we're a team here.
What?
That's what I said, that's why we're a team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why we're a team. That's because the Mastermind has already received cooperation from other than the Kisaragi Foundation.
Different source?
I heard it from the display in the information processing room, but there was also information about Monokuma. According to that information, the place where Monokuma was made was in Toa City, in Toa City, from the Toa Group, a robot built with technology. Toa. Unlike the Kisaragi Foundation, no one knows about them. I don't believe it either, but it was mentioned carefully. Because they got cooperation of the Toa Group, and there was no need to threaten or seek help from the Kisaragis.
I can't believe it. There were several chain stores subcontracted to There were several chain stores subcontracted to Toa City and Atori Mart.
I'm sorry, but what Maeda-sama said is true. We have no contact with the Kisaragi Foundation. All the necessary technology was lent by the Toa Group.
Ah, Toa. I miss them.
So there was nothing strange about saying that the Kisaragi Foundation was actually the one who protected us.
Wait then, all the evidence for those claims is all that Akane prepared, right? There is a possibility that everything was manipulated.
That is not likely.
Huh?
How many times did I tell you this trial is fair? Besides, there's no benefit for us doing that. At the start, as I said, this trial itself was like a bonus stage. But if you keep suspecting and doubting, it'll get difficult, won't it?
I don't know about the Toa Group, but I can attest that the Kisaragi Foundation is innocent. You don't have to worry about anything.
I mean, as much as I give Teruya crap, that is a fair point, that even if she says it is fair, it could just be her screwing with us.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there, quote-unquote, is no benefit, that there is that possibility, considering that they rigged, well, I guess technically not her, but considering the 5th trial was rigged itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that. As much as I give him crap a lot of the game.
Okay, let's say the Kisaragi Foundation wasn't on the side of the mastermind. But if not, then why are we in their laboratory? I don't understand that. What does the Kisaragi Foundation have to do with us in the first place? If it's not for the mastermind, why are they related to us?
That's obvious. There wasn't just only one point of contact between us and the Kisaragi Foundation, wasn't it? He was a freshman in the 79th class of Hope's Peak Academy like us. The existence of Yamato Kisaragi.
When Kisaragi showed up after we lost our memories, I was so mentally withdrawn that I couldn't meet him properly. But from what I heard, he was so unstable that he couldn't communicate properly. At this point, of course, I think all of you will know that Kisaragi never had such a handicap when he was in school.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
Yeah.
It's shown in that flashback when it said that he kicks his butt at chess.
Yeah. He was rather a leader. Before he lost his memory, he was rather a leader and a lively guy. More than anyone else.
Okay, so I get it. So like when everything was falling apart, he kind of did what the imposter did and wanted to protect everyone else. Not wanting to let any of them die from all these like dark things he was discovering about the school, and took action right away. Which makes sense. I guess as the leader, the future president of a big foundation, you have to be ready to step up and take charge.
Yeah.
What happened to that guy who got in such a state?
I don't know either. Maybe it was the aftermath of the amnesia? No, hold on. I know that Kisaragi was a classmate, but is that all there is to it? It's not even my family, but his whole family was associated to us.
Family. Looking back, it seems that there was a student who was more than just a classmate with Kisaragi. It was very close. I must have found clues related to that during my investigation of the clues. Where's that photo? Where are you? It's right here.
これだよ。
Teruya, what if there really was a family-like relationship connection?
What do you mean?
Didn't you see in the headmaster's office the picture of Kisaragi's childhood?
That family picture? Of course I saw it. What's that about?
The girl who was photographed there is Kurokawa.
He didn't. How did he not get that?
Yeah, I don't know how we didn't piece that together.
Eh? That was Kurokawa?
Why are you surprised? If you just look at the girl, it's her, isn't it?
No, but she's too different, isn't she? I can't even imagine seeing Kurokawa smiling that brightly like that.
That's certainly true. No matter what memory loss is, the Kurokawa we know today was a dark and gloomy student, with such impression and a few words. Originally seeing that picture for the first time, I wouldn't have been convinced that the girl in the picture was actually Kurokawa. But why did I think it was Kurokawa without any doubt? Well, I mean, she was wearing the same beads. I mean, this memory, yeah. Was it because I saw something like that in my dream? But it must have been a dream, at least to me. I never have seen Kurokawa like this. Still, why? Ugh.
It's not unreasonable for you to think that way, but like I said before, Kurokawa had a very bright personality. Just like Maeda said, Kisaragi was like a family. No, they were a family.
I spoke directly to Maeda-sama about this. Kurokawa-sama lost her family when she was young and was abandoned in the streets. The Kisaragis who found her adopted her and she was raised by their people. Anzo Kisaragi, the president of the Kisaragi Foundation at the time, and Yamato Kisaragi's father, can be said to be a father to Kurokawa too. Likewise, Kisaragi-sama and Kurokawa-sama, they must have been like siblings. While looking at the two of them normally, it seems that Kisaragi-sama, you were his younger brother. That to Kisaragi-sama, you were his younger brother. What? How does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense. Look at the two of them normally, it seems that Kisaragi-sama, you were his younger brother? What? Is he, who is he talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's supposed to say, looking at the two of them as normally, it seems that to Kisaragi-sama, he was like a younger brother to Kurokawa.
That's definitely not worded right.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Kinjo-sama?
Don't talk to me casually, you criminal bitch.
As for the other students, I don't know, but to Kisaragi, Kurokawa was family. Kurokawa's reaction to the Kisaragi Foundation was proof of that.
So you're saying the Kisaragi Foundation really protected us? There is a reason for that, but this is all I can say. During our school life, we all had a close relationship. So I think that even if someone other than Kisaragi, we would have supported each other.
Because there were a lot of people who were hurt and hungry for love.
You are the exception. I hate myself for speaking kind to you in the past.
There are clues that the Kisaragi Foundation protected us, but would it be okay to hold a minute before that? As Kenjo said earlier that Kurokawa was originally like that. Like Kisaragi, he had a bright personality. Those two, they probably didn't have their own memories erased properly. That's what we thought, which is why they quote-unquote glitched out.
Huh?
I've thought of that too. In the case of Kurokawa, she even tried to tell us about the mastermind in her last moments. I doubt that it was a blurred memory. Why didn't they tell us the truth at first? Why were they a special exception?
Well, I don't know. Guess it.
Did Kurokawa and Kisaragi really know everything? But how? I have a feeling something is coming up in my mind. Let's talk about this with everyone and think about it deeply. Let's see what we got here with bullets. Someone's note: 4 ultimate despair memory storage, murder class life, despair agents want to come in the lab. Shoot, the problem is trying to remember what all the notes say individually. Why couldn't the reason? Did you prepare something in advance? Not certain, right? If their memory wasn't erased, it would be strange for them not to speak up at all. If they really knew and stayed quiet, maybe the two of them were on the mastermind's side, huh? It was a joke. Such a chance doesn't exist. Still, it would be difficult to know the two of them had something we didn't have. All of us were wiped out cleanly, but Kurokawa and Kisaragi's memories were not erased. It's possible that only they had their memories not taken. If it's possible, what method did they use? They mentioned before a memories erased by a machine called memory manipulation device. If there's a way to not be affected by that machine, it might be possible.
The memory storage.
So what bullet is it?
Well,
Not ultimate spirit, memory storage. I think that's probably it.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to hit. I don't know if I'm supposed to hit raise or... I think I'm supposed to hit the other one.
Let's see. What's the other one?
I think I'm supposed to hit
Because
this.
they did prepare in advance.
Oh yeah, okay, it was raise thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it was raise thing.
Yeah, we basically don't take damage anymore.
No, we don't. Memory storage.
そうかもしれないよ。
Thank you, Maki, for being so useful. Man, I love that skill. So it's a
I don't
lot
think they
easier.
have
I'm
the-
not missing anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maki. A memory storage device.
What?
A device that minimizes the damage of the memory manipulator based on samples of the memory manipulation devices. Kurokawa and Kisaragi used that machine, didn't they?
What is that thing? Was it something you just imagined about?
So that implies that they knew someone was going to try to erase their memories.
Yeah.
Which I guess that makes sense because Kisaragi seemed to know something was amiss in the group. And that they were in danger.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense, I suppose. It's the first time I've heard of such information. Maeda, where did you learn this? In the headmaster's computer. After the investigation was over, I was going down to the first floor. I found the computer turned on. Someone's voice in the computer told me about a storage device. That's something I don't trust. I also checked the computer in the headmaster, but it was in a state where the power was not being supplied at all. You said it was turned on and you heard someone's voice. Are you sure it wasn't a dream? I don't believe it either, but such a machine exists. But I didn't hear it wrong. I'm sure the computer's voice told me that information. And besides that, there was another thing. Geez, that again.
Yuki, are you okay? It sounds like you're wobbling.
Yeah, the discussion comes first. I'm not certain. But could this information explain that Kurokawa and Kisaragi's memories were still intact? That said, I think it's too much to fit in.
No need to worry, Makaru. The information Maeda said is probably true.
Is it really?
I think Kisaragi vaguely mentioned it. I didn't know that he was talking of. I didn't know what he was talking about at the time, but if he had been preparing for his memory erasure since then.
Alright, I think we've come to a rough conclusion. Kurokawa-sama and Kisaragi-sama were able to avoid complete amnesia by using the memory storage device.
You're going to admit it, right? Right away?
It's actually a little early, but it doesn't really matter. Moreover, the trial cannot proceed if there's a difference in opinion. Kisaragi-sama didn't know how to do it, but he made a similar device based on the data he obtained from the memory manipulation device. It was a device that could resist the amnesia. Wait, Kisaragi made a device to resist amnesia? Does that mean he knew you guys would erase our memories? Why is that? And if he knew, why did only those two use the memory storage device?
No, I want to cut to the chase. That's more important here. We're cutting to the heart of the matter.
I'll talk about that a little later. Could you please stop cutting to the chase? Anyway, using that device, Kurokawa-sama and Kisaragi-sama didn't lose their memories as you might expect. But because it was made hastily and was just a wild product, side effects were present in the device.
So that's why they were so different. I imagine Maeda's side effects were from the memory erasure itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them had their problems from the memory storage.
Yeah. Side effects.
That's right. The voice inside the computer said that there may be side effects.
And this side effect was so fatal it could not be ignored. That side effect is called speech disorders.
Huh. So that's why she changed her. So that's why they talk so differently.
Well, maybe it is, I guess. It was Kisaragi-sama who made the machine in the first place, and there is only the two of them who used it. I'm not a genius, so I don't know much about machines and stuff.
There was that too. Kurokawa's strange speech was low, with few words, and Kisaragi's strange language was odd.
It was a side effect of the memory storage. Besides, the side effects don't end there. There seems to be some kind of individual differences. But the two of them had a few more. Kurokawa-sama, for instance, dynamic emotional change.
Okay, so that explains why her personality itself was so different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Kisaragi-sama lost his personality, so he lost his, like, leadership traits and stuff.
Yeah.
Dang. If they knew that kind of stuff could happen, why use it? I mean, it almost wouldn't be useful. If they couldn't do anything with the information, it almost wouldn't be useful.
Yeah.
So why use it? So then
Because
what?
it was a gamble to see if it would pay off or anything, I guess.
So then what Kenjo said, that Kurokawa was originally a bright person.
It's true, Kurokawa-sama was such a bright person even in class. Joy, sadness, anger, love, all of her emotions were incapable of expressing themselves due to side effects.
No, that wasn't out yet. I was about to say, when she was listing the emotions, I said, we're a fear and disgust, but Inside Out wasn't out yet at that time. At this time, that was 2015, when that film came out.
Mm-hmm. I believe this released, like, the final chapter released in 2015.
Okay, so maybe it was out, but, you know, yeah, that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It was just a random joke.
Mm-hmm. So, when we were discussing, like, what the author would have known for, like, as like far as like information for the wider like Danganronpa universe, any game released before like halfway through like 2015.
So all the games except for V3.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Ultra Despair Girls came out after 2. And with Toa Group mentioned, that means Ultra Despair Girls had to have been out.
Yeah.
So, which I kind of like that because it using a lot of the stuff from 2 that ties a lot of the narrative together with this game a lot better.
Okay, so yeah, that came out in 2014. So, yeah, especially while writing it's 2 is 2012. Okay. So they probably had to go back and maybe revise a few things, depending on the new games coming out while writing this game.
Maybe.
Since it sounds like they started making this game originally around like 2012-ish, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? So over the course of like 3 years of creating all of the chapters, they probably didn't have like the full story 100% planned out with like all of the lore in mind, but definitely went back and like kind of arranged all of the details to work with the other games pretty well in the end.
We talked about this off stream, like, with that said, I have no idea how the second game is going to tie into all this.
Yeah. Especially since that game, well, I don't think it would tie into V3, but it definitely could tie into like the anime.
Yeah, or even 2 more in a way.
Yeah.
Because this game obviously really does take a big influence from 1.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like I said, they tie in the lore from 2, Ultra Despair Girls, and a lot of the manga. So I'm imagining 2, like I said, maybe they'll take some stuff from V3, but I imagine a lot of its kind of overarching plot will be more in line with 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2 and all the stuff that happens in the Despair arc anime series.
Yeah.
Themselves due to side effects.
Then Kisaragi.
Monokuma-sama said there was an abnormality with his brain. That was the side effect. The original cheerful personality was gone, and his personality was twisted as if he had mental retardation. I didn't think that was actually a word.
Retardation?
Yeah, I didn't know that was actually a word, retardation. I've never heard that actual word used before.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard retard before, but not retardation. I have not heard that term before.
It's a pretty common word used actually in engineering, because it just means to slow something down.
Yeah.
That a machine that prevents amnesia, but makes people's emotions and personality disappear?
Well, as I said before, I'm not good with machines, because there were so many unknown things about the human brain.
Wait, it's strange for something like this to happen. Kisaragi returned to normal for a brief moment, and Kurokawa also spoke even more at the final trial. Yeah. How did that happen?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that either. If you think about it, the headaches Kurokawa-sama often felt, they were probably the pain of burning your own head. She must have overcome the side effects to do it. That's what I can guess.
I don't know.
Do you remember the two of them were complaining of headaches when trying to remember something at an important moment?
That was the aftermath of forcing you to ignore the side effects?
I can't 100% prove it though. But this I can be sure of, pain continues to happen when you keep ignoring the warnings of the side effects your body sends you, and if you don't obey the commands the brain sends you. Splat!
So that explains why she died.
Mm-hmm.
The way she did. Is that actual, like, neurological science that it works that way?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
I think this is science fiction.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm no neurological researcher by any stretch of the word.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the details of how the brain works.
Wait, you didn't learn about the psychosomatic systems of the brain in your media training classes?
No, the only stuff I learned about the brain was in a few psych classes that I took.
Yeah.
So, and that was more of like how the brain processes things and perceives, not how it functions. So, not how like the actual cognitive functions work. So.
That's what they said. The brain cells that could not overcome their host would make them die in the end.
They said? Who said that to you?
Kisaragi. Well, I eavesdropped there.
Then when Kurokawa suddenly spit blood and died, the fact that Kisaragi exploded on his own. You mean it was all because of that? So,
trying to think.
So Kisaragi indirectly killed them both. I don't think he intended to.
Yeah, it sounds like when he, quote, got back to normal and ran to find Kirikawa, he died the same way Kirikawa died.
Yeah. So what the problem is, like, the question is, like, what caused that to happen in that moment? Because he seemed perfectly fine in terms of, like, not getting a headache or coughing or anything like that when he was in the dining hall. So what happened during the encounter with Kurokawa before we got there that caused that to happen to him?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever know, but he was obviously trying to talk about or remember something important.
Yeah.
In a conversation with Kurokawa, and it caused that to happen to him.
Which is probably why she was so shocked that he was dead, because she probably didn't remember that they had even done that to themselves.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Kurokawa's death was certainly so unnatural, her hair suddenly bursting from the inside without any sign. It was the aftermath of the side effects?
So Monokuma technically didn't kill anyone. And I guess you could... I would... Because, like, I still couldn't say, quote, Kurokawa was the culprit.
No. The only reason I can think of that Monokuma... I still think Monokuma was definitely involved. He was definitely the one who opened the door.
Yeah.
And I'm also inclined to believe he was also probably the one who knocked them out. I almost want to say he could have... I mean, if he knew both of them were going to die, he probably could have triggered something that would have caused Kisaragi to react that way when he went up there. And that could, quote-unquote, be technically considered Monokuma killing him. But, I don't know. I don't know what you would say who technically murdered him at that point. If it was him, if it was Monokuma, if it was Kurokawa, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you could say either, well, any one of those three.
Yeah, I guess that's why they didn't label that as, quote, the wrong answer, so to say. It's because there's no obvious culprit. You could justify any culprit you wanted with.
Which is why we couldn't find the weapon, because there wasn't a direct weapon that did it.
Yeah.
So instead of his own head, his own chest exploded instead of his head.
Yeah, like his heart exploded.
Which that is not how it actually works.
Yeah. I guess what technically happens is maybe somehow their blood pressure spikes to such insane levels that the blood itself literally causes burst out of the veins or whatever.
Like ruptures it or something.
Yeah.
What a terrible way to go.
Yeah. It's like having a super intense heart attack.
Yeah, jeez, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. At that point, if it's obvious that Kisaragi knew there were side effects and knew that could happen. So at that point, I don't even know if it was worth it to use the storage device at that point.
Yeah.
Because if he knew there were side effects that would probably prevent him from even doing anything or helping anything, then I don't know the point of even using it.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's terrible.
If your memories were fine until a while ago, why would you not want to say anything to them? You might think that, but it's actually the other way around. Kurokawa always tried too hard to tell the truth every minute, every second. In the aftermath of amnesia, the memory related to our school life could come out of her voice. My god, it must have been a horrible headache just thinking about it. You must have seen a lot of Kurokawa-sama's headaches from time to time. Why did you do that? If you hadn't tried to recall her memory and tried to tell her the truth, she wouldn't have felt the pain, right?
Just a thing. Damn it, Kurokawa. Yes, that was it. Because Kurakawa was nice and kind, that everyone else tried to do it for everyone.
Apart from Kurukawa, what happened to Kisaragi? You said her brain was overheating, but Kisaragi died with a hole in his chest. Wasn't that someone's intention? Makaro, I think I know the cause. Kisaragi's chest was destroyed like a bomb exploded, and there was information about the storage device that was assumed to be the cause of the outcome. The reason, it's just a side effect. Oh, it wasn't, okay. It wasn't Monokuma, was it? So what the computer gave me. It wasn't Monokuma. I mean, was it technically a detonator? I mean...
I guess so.
I guess. I didn't know that's really what you would call it. Well. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of specifically what that voice said. Because it was kind of confusing. The voice in the computer I heard about the storage device added one thing. The voice also mentioned side effects, and in order to prepare any possible side effects, they said they made a small detonator that explodes with an internal signal. External, I don't know.
Signal.
External, excuse me. A detonator? There was so much noise that I couldn't understand everything, but they told someone to kill them if anything happened as a result of the side effects.
I was unconscious at the time of Kisaragi's death, so I don't know. If what Maeda said is true, I think the voice in that computer was Kisaragi himself.
That was pretty obvious based on the silhouette we saw.
Yeah. Wait a minute, but Kisaragi is dead, right? It must have been pre-recorded or something like that. It's a clue that Akane Taira left to investigate anyway.
No, to be honest, I'm new to this information. That's what I said, didn't I? I think it might be a little early for this.
What? Then how did Maeda hear this? It wouldn't be a lie to hear the exact words.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? It's no big deal. Anyway, just as Maeda-sama said, Kisaragi-sama made a detonator and installed it on himself and Kurukawa-sama on purpose.
Oh, so she had one too.
I wonder if that was what killed her.
Yeah.
At the time, they were not sure about the side effects. They literally put insurance on them.
Oh, thank you, Monokuma. Actually being helpful.
Yeah.
From here on, I'll explain. Kinjo-kun said I was the one who killed Kisaragi-kun after the trial. But in truth, the culprit is Miss Kurakawa. This device was never made by me.
Okay, so
That I
apparently
believe. That part I believe. That Monokuma didn't make it.
Yeah. So I guess Kurakawa set off the device?
Probably, presumably inadvertently.
Yeah. Or maybe at the request of Kisaragi? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
The detonator was made by Kisaragi-kun, but it was Miss Kurakawa who installed it.
What? Well, I guess he maybe couldn't install it physically in himself,
Yeah.
and she couldn't install it physically in herself, so they probably installed it in each other.
Yeah.
The culprit was Miss Kurakawa all along.
So I guess we were correct.
Yeah.
Technically. Almost accidentally correct.
Yeah.
Because all of the, quote, evidence we had against Kurakawa was manufactured.
By Monokuma.
Yeah. So it was almost like they wanted to make sure we didn't mess up.
But why did they have to die then?
Yeah.
Why did he want them dead at that moment?
I don't know. I guess so that if they did overcome the side effects, they wouldn't be able to like expose everything.
Maybe.
But because Kinjo didn't actually have any side effects, when he got his memory back, he exposed the important details anyway.
Yeah, because Kinjo didn't have the storage device used on him.
Yeah.
It was just the manipulation device.
That's nonsense.
No, it may sound far-fetched, but if you follow the rules of the class trial, then the bomb is the weapon. If Kurokawa was the one who installed that weapon, the culprit would naturally be Kurokawa. That's the conclusion of this story.
Yeah, you fools! I never lied!
I still wonder if Kurokawa had any memory of actually doing that. Of, like, actually installing the bomb. Which is why I said it was probably set off inadvertently and probably surprised her when that happened.
Yeah.
Which will probably explain why she looked so stunned when we found her when he was dead.
Yeah. But also why she couldn't say anything.
So maybe she figured that if that happened to him and she had some connection, something like that might have happened to her.
Yeah.
Or might happen to her. The question is, who detonated the bomb? Maeda clearly said it was a detonator that explodes with an external signal to kill them, meaning the bomb doesn't explode until it gets a signal.
That's...
So maybe it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, where did the signal come from?
Yeah. What was it? Even if it was Kurokawa who installed the bomb, if it was someone else who sent the detonation signal, wouldn't the theory of Kurokawa being the culprit be a little strange?
that was... don't be fooled by the past. I'm done talking about this now. You still don't even know why you're in the Kisaragi Foundation. So hurry up and discuss.
Monokuma-sama, the gallery is getting tired, so just shut up. Still, there's some truth in Monokuma-sama. The topic of conversation was increasingly related to the last incident. I've told you a few times, Kisaragi-sama's murder case is nothing, so please forget about it.
There's no way that we're gonna go the rest of the game without knowing exactly what happened.
No, I think that'll come back up again. I think they're just messing with us
Yeah.
and teasing us with information we're curious about.
Yeah, because it's obvious that Monokuma did a lot of stuff during that case, and if Monokuma was the one who detonated the bomb and could have done it whenever, why did he do it then, at that moment? Like, there's a lot that we don't know about it, so that would make me really frustrated if the game just ends and they don't tell us about that. I think would be a legitimate criticism.
Yeah.
All right.
Rather, what you're supposed to do is find out the truth of the killing school life, right? So, do you find out why you joined the Kisaragi laboratory?
Changing the topic, huh?
But what she said is true. In my case, in order to win and escape this trial, we need to know the overall background. Starting with what's in front of us.
Yeah. You even said the Kisaragi Foundation wasn't on the side of the mastermind, right?
Still, the Kisaragi Foundation is good, and Kisaragi, the successor of the foundation, was our classmate. And we know that Kurokawa was part of the Kisaragi family. There's really
now a way to know exactly what happened and why we're in this situation.
No, Teruya, that's not necessarily the case. To answer that woman's question, we started discussing about the Kisaragi Foundation. But there were clear clues about the situation before we lost our memories.
You lie. Where is that?
You really are an idiot till the end. Did you even do your investigation? Are you wearing your eyes for decoration? No, if you're like that, your brain is the problem. Just die. This is frustrating already.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see where she's coming from, because Tori apparently did not read or understand literally any of the clues they were given.
It's been a while since you poured out a complete set of venomous words. There's no need to say something so harshly.
Calm down, all I can answer if it's frustrating. It's because the clue for everyone to see was in the headmaster's office.
Headmaster's office? Aren't there any random meaningless notes in the office?
How can you be so close to the realm that you don't know, that you don't even know this? This is a talent of fools.
A Tori, the ultimate high school fool.
Yeah.
That would be the most unfortunate talent of being a professional fool.
Yeah.
Out of everyone in these games, who do you think would be the ultimate high school fool?
It's between him and Hiro, I think. I think he's obviously like called a fool in a lot of contexts.
Yeah. What about Akane for the second game?
In terms of intelligence, yes, I would definitely say she's a fool.
Yeah.
I would say like the gut instinct, as kind of dumb as it is, does kind of elevate you from not being like a complete idiot.
Do you think she's smarter than Hiro?
In terms of overall, like, general intellect, probably not, or at least on par with him. I imagine there's maybe, like, a few things she knows about, like, in terms of, like, physical fitness.
Yeah.
But I would imagine in general context, she's probably on par with him.
Yeah. And then, was there any... I don't think there was any particularly, like, foolish characters in V3.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's any, like I said, like really outright dumb character.
Yeah.
There were some that definitely aren't too bright, or use a lot of like really dumb reasoning, like Tenko, or Himiko. Also, I would say not being super intelligent, but I think there's just like not being intelligent, just being an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, people like make the argument that like Angie is actually like not a very intelligent person, but no, she's actually very intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really think there's like
a lot of what she does is like almost an act.
Yeah.
I think the best way to put it.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any like character like that in V3. So
yeah,
by just going through the roster,
yeah,
I guess sort of Kaito, but I wouldn't call him like an outright idiot.
No, he's just more of an optimist.
Yeah, optimist who just kind of goes with it without always thinking about how it will actually be done. But I don't think he's an idiot, despite what Kokichi calls him.
Yeah.
So, well, it seems Teruya doesn't understand. Well, I have no choice but to tell him. Among the notes of the headmaster's office, a clue gave us a rough idea of our situation. That is, which one was it? It was one of these. No. No. I think it's this one.
これだよ。
Yeah, this one. As Teruya said, there were a number of notes scattered around the headmaster's office. In one of the notes was written, "The researchers are on standby. Now I can bring my friends to that place. It will be safe for the time being." That's what it said. Ooh.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that. And then that place they mentioned is...
Yes, we followed that person who wrote the note by ourselves into the Kisaragi laboratory.
Ourselves? Who was that person that wrote that note?
Well, in all likelihood, Yamato Kisaragi. In the notes of the headmaster's office, the name Mikako is mentioned over and over again, as Mikako's classmate is the person who entered Hope Peak Academy this time. In other words, before entering the school of Mikako, they were a close friend of Mikako Kurukawa. In the middle, it is said that he, the third representative, is the third representative, and there is also the words of them as a researcher. So it is a note written by Yamato Kisaragi. I'm 99.99999% certain.
Kisaragi? Took us to this lab? Why?
Maybe it was to protect us. The note also mentioned they would keep us. Something big happened outside. We had to hide somewhere, so maybe they took us to this laboratory.
Is Atori... I feel like Atori is still alive just to be the guy who asks a bunch of questions.
He probably is.
So to keep the this trial going.
Yeah, because it's sort of, we talked about this off screen, like that's sort of what Akane does in 2.
Yeah, because like you have to have like one question who doesn't get it for the other ones that do to have a reason to explain it.
Yeah.
Because Kisaragi was that kind of guy. Wait, if the note itself was a trap to make you think that Kisaragi wrote it...
Atori-sama, could you please stop making me repeat what I just said? There is no such thing.
Otori-sama's stupidity adds fun to the trial, but there's something called being ignorant.
Don't worry, Teruya. Everything we've said so far is true. I guarantee it.
If you think about it better than that, you will naturally agree. Do you even have a point?
I continue to be suspicious of the Kisaragi Foundation. I was sure there must be something. There must have been a cause that put us in this situation. But now I can tell. If everything we said is true, it would be a terrible thing to disrespect Kisaragi by having such doubts. I'm sorry, I kept saying strange things.
If so, you're in doubt. A note to summarize the situation would be the right thing to do.
That is inevitable, because it was Kisaragi's hobby to write down everything on a note and keep records. That's very convenient.
To be fair, Kyoko kind of did that too.
Yeah. They fell into the hands of the mastermind and were placed in a suspicious spot.
can't remember, but Kisaragi was also our classmate, and I can't deny that even he protected us from danger. That's why we were suspicious of him.
What? Wait, is this okay? Kisaragi took us to the laboratory to protect us. I understand to this point, but as a result, the laboratory was renovated to look like Hope's Peak Academy. The mastermind created a stage for us to live in a killing school life. What in the world happened after Kisaragi brought us to the lab?
Well, that is a valid question. Like, what exactly happened? Like for one, why is the first floor, quote unquote, so messed up compared to all the others?
Yeah.
You don't have anything to say? Yeah, that's the way it is, because what happened after you entered the lab has left no clues about it. It's not that I didn't leave any, it's that I don't have a clue about this. Well, if I had a clue, the bloody 5th floor hallway, that's what I just said. I guess it's likely that... Well, no, the lab was abandoned. I was about to say it's likely that other people were here and they had to be killed off, but... But, we said it was abandoned or not in use. It's a clue to begin with, but it will be difficult to understand even if I say this. This is Kinjo-sama's turn to step up.
Okay.
Use all kinds of excuses to keep me quiet before, but now you want me to tell them?
Huh? I was sorry you've been quiet, so I'm giving you a chance.
No, you're not.
I said that, but it's just a little embarrassing because it's something outside of Kinjo-sama's memory. However, if your memory came back, you should use it. So for the ignorant people, do a great speech, please.
Whatever.
Whatever. I was going to tell them anyway.
Okay. Now we're getting into the tragedy here.
Yeah. Listen up, you guys. A huge incident happened at Hope's Peak. Hope's Peak Academy. And we were in a situation where even our lives were at risk. Kisaragi brought us here to the lab to protect us from that. However, Kisaragi made one mistake.
Yeah, he didn't know that someone who was involved in everything that was happening was in the group.
Yeah. He didn't know that an ultimate despair student was hiding in our group, the 79th class.
I'm pretty proud of myself that I came to the conclusion before all this reveal that he was not the guy who caused all this to happen. Like the killing game. Like, he may have brought us to the location, but I said I think when I called him, like, kind of taking on the Jin Kirigiri headmaster role was pretty accurate. And I'm kind of pretty proud of myself for coming to that conclusion without having to, like, be told that that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of stuff with him I've pieced together really well with his involvement in all this. Oh, we're getting into this now.
If it's an ultimate despair, you're talking about Akane?
To be honest, even I don't know what Akane Taira... Even I didn't know that Akane Taira was an ultimate despair. It's no wonder that girl, from the time of her admission, she pretended to be our classmate, completely melted in with us.
Oh my, it's not a lie. Of course I hid my identity. But it's true that I was a classmate. I did not pretend.
Shut up. Just thinking about being a classmate with you makes my blood boil upside down.
I can barely understand. Akane Taira didn't know she was an ultimate despair, and Kisaragi sent that girl into the laboratory.
That's right. The first few days after entering the laboratory were calm. There was anxiety about being away from our family and being in the open sea, but we were all together, and for the time being, there was a mood to look at the situation positively. But then, Kane Taira started moving the tide. Do you guys know why the 5th floor hallway was so bloody and messy?
Finally getting into this.
That's why.
I was right. There were
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people there. I was right.
Yeah. It's because the researchers of the Kisaraki Foundation, who originally fled with us, were slaughtered there. I guess by the Monokumas,
I presume so.
I assume?
Yeah. What? A massacre. Akane Taira killed the researchers?
No, she didn't kill them herself.
Okay.
It was the Monokumas who started the slaughter, yeah.
Okay. Then how did all the Monokumas get there? Like, Kisaragi Foundation didn't make them.
Yeah.
How did
I
they
can
all
only
get-
imagine that she worked with Junko or something in some way. Monokumas? It was written on a note. Before the commotion at Hope's Peak Academy, Hisaragi had the Foundation researchers ready in advance. Thanks to his swift action, we, the 79th class, were able to escape to the laboratory. However, among us, Akane Taira, the ultimate despair, was handed over to the enemy. As a result, within a few days of evacuating here, a lot of Monokumas attacked the laboratory. It was a nightmare. The 5th floor. Most of the experimental facilities were concentrated on the 1st floor of the laboratory. All of the researchers were living there. At the time, we were in the basement where our dormitories are, so we could be safe there. When we were trying to keep in touch with each other somehow, I was attacked by Akane Taira and incapacitated. You were attacked, no matter how vigilant we were. No, one person neutralized all 14 of us? The job wasn't that easy. The lab is spacious, and there were lots of things going at the time of the raid, but there was no one who could do a sane reaction to the sudden attack of that woman who we believed to be our friend. I barely noticed it just before, and knew that Akane Taira was the mastermind, but most of them probably lost consciousness without even knowing who they were attacked by.
Trying to think of, like... There's not a lot of physically gifted people in this group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there's Kinjo, and Mitch, and Kakeru.
Yeah.
Everyone else is either average to physically not very strong.
Yeah.
Like, even Kazuna, who's technically an athlete too, like, I mean, is not physically imposing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like just going through the rest of the cast. I guess Maki probably has some athletic prowess, but I'm trying to go through everyone. I guess Ayame as well, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Ayame as well, but like Kanata, Kenji, Satsuki, Haru, Teruya, like Rei, like are not, and Yuki are not physically gifted in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in the first game, it made a lot more sense when you have a soldier in your group who can incapacitate everybody, except for maybe Sakura easily. But here, a little bit harder to believe that a maid could do that.
Yeah.
So,
I actually did, tucked in the back of your neck like this.
but that means that Kenjo didn't get hit right away, right? After dodging the surprise attack, they faced each other head on, but Kenjo lost? It's not so strange. After Akane Taira's memory came back, she showed athletic ability. So that was not her teleporting, that was actually her physically doing that?
I guess so.
She must have received some special training.
There's nothing special about it. This is just the basic skills of a maid, right?
Well, Karumi couldn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think most maids can zip around like a Naruto ninja.
Yeah.
Not the ones I know, at least.
No. Wait, actually, I do know a maid because my parents actually use a maid service at their house.
Yeah.
They're very nice people.
Although most maids aren't high school girls.
No, they're not. These are adults. These people.
Yeah.
So they're very nice, though. According to my mom, they're very nice.
Yeah. Kenjo, what happened after that? I went unconscious. Like you guys said, Akane's nonsensical physical abilities quickly struck me too. I don't remember anything like that after that. Yeah, so even Kenjo admits that her abilities are completely nonsensical.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the world? Perhaps she used the memory manipulation device on all of us who fainted. As far as I know, this is it. The lights were lit and there were screams and alarms from the researchers, so I don't know the situation from any of you guys at the time.
No, but thanks to you, fortunately, that means the culprit was Akane Taira. We were able to get things going. Because it's obvious even if we don't see much after that. Researchers were killed. We, the 79th class, were all disabled and erased from our memories, and our memories were erased. Those who have completely taken over the laboratory were remodeling the building to their liking. As in another Hope's Peak Academy suitable for a killing school life. So I guess it's implied the Monokumas were the ones who did all the remodeling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's how it happened. In the end, Kisaragi and Kurokawa, they were all played and fooled by her. This is the truth, the reason we ended up killing each other in a place we didn't even know. The same cause when we came to the Kisaragi Foundation's research laboratory. It's finally time to summarize this. Put an end to this terrible case. Okay, so now I think we're ending the truth of Kisaragi and Kurokawa here.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to do this. I imagine this is the halfway point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got everyone introducing them. So what do we have for the pictures here? Kisaragi knew in advance something bad was going to happen, just as he predicted, and a huge incident occurred immediately after. An ordinary research institute being converted into another Hope's Peak. That's pretty funny. I love that picture. At the time of the entrance ceremony, there was another student among us. He must have been the guy at the center of everything. The mastermind was mixed among us. Without anyone knowing, they attacked us one by one and destroyed everyone from within. And getting ready to go somewhere in a helicopter. So, okay, let's everyone introduce themselves. So this is probably this one. Him. Yeah, okay. So we've got the ultimate despair, the tragedy, Junko, Monokuma's attacking everybody in the world. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, he gets all this together. We get in the chopper. Where's the chopper? There we go. We get in the chopper, go to the lab. We are all together. Then there's a mastermind in the group. Where are you? There you are. Knocks us out, erases our memories. Then we all wake up. And Monokuma's room on Hope's Peak. We all wake up and we're stuck in this situation. That was easy.
Yeah.
These are not hard in this game because the limitations that this probably engine can't really make this very difficult. Not that they were super difficult in the main series anyway.
Yeah.
We are the new students who entered Hope's Peak Academy. We were called the 79th class. In our memory, we suddenly lost consciousness while gathered at the entrance hall on the day of the entrance ceremony and introducing ourselves. But in reality, that wasn't it, because we went to the school in our normal lives and had been classmates for several months. The reason we didn't know about it was because the mastermind used some method to manipulate the memories of all of us. Excuse me. The biggest reason seems to be that there was a part of them that was different from the real version from the memory. Hold on. The biggest reason seems to be that there was a part that was different from the real version from the memory of the first time we'd met. That's right. One of the students of the 79th class of Hope's Peak Academy, Yamato Kisaragi's existence. We weren't 15 in total. The real number of the 79th class was 16. For some reason, we didn't remember Kisaragi. All of our memories related to him were gone. So after leaving the ballroom, Kisaragi appeared in front of all of us, but we didn't know who it was. No matter how much our memories were manipulated, it is certain that he was our classmate. And all of our friends who died while killing each other. Meanwhile, there was something behind Hope's Peak Academy. It's a fact that we didn't know at all, but at the time we entered the school. But by the time we entered the school, if we didn't hide ourselves somewhere, it seems that a big event was going on that could endanger our lives. Unlike us, who didn't know anything, Kisaragi seemed to know this. He was thinking of evacuating us somehow for our safety, and thanks to that we were safe in a refuge. We can't be sure because our memories were erased, but based on the information we've found so far, I'm guessing something very bad happened at the school. It can be said that we were barely alive thanks to Kisaragi's quick response. Looking at the notes from the headmaster's office, it seems that Kisaragi escaped from Hope's Peak Academy with us. I don't know what happened to our families, or what happened to the other students left behind, but in the end, I think Kisaragi deserves our thanks for saving our lives. The place Kisaragi tried to escape with us was his family, an unused research lab owned by the Kisaragi Foundation. A place on a remote island not known to anyone other than the Foundation, so it must have been decided that it was safe. I don't know why we had to escape to such a place. We can imagine it was a very dangerous situation. That place was the third Kisaragi research lab on a remote island. It was used to become Hope's Peak Academy, where we are right now in this building. But in the end, Kisaragi made one mistake during the evacuation process. That is, among the 79th class, a traitor, the mastermind, was in our group. The mastermind followed us into the laboratory with their identity hidden. I don't know why the mastermind was acting for, or who, I guess. But as a result, no one knew our classmate right next to us was our enemy. The mastermind began to attack and neutralize us one by one without even dreaming that a friend would attack them. Most of them were attacked without even knowing who they were ambushed by, and even Kinjo, who avoided being surprised, but was defeated in a head-to-head fight. All of us who fell were subjected to some kind of experiment by the mastermind. We all lost our memories from our school lives since we entered Hope's Peak Academy. No one knows what happened immediately after we lost our memories except for the mastermind. Actually, from what we've learned, the mastermind also erased their own memories, so nobody knows. However, there is also a testimony of Kenjo, I think it's supposed to be Kenjo. The Monokumas attacked the research center, and it can be speculated that the mastermind and Monokumas may have remodeled the laboratory behind the scenes. Yes, to make it look like Hope's Peak. That's why the place was decorated like a school, even though it was the lab. I can't tell you how much time has passed since then. At least when we lost our memories and opened our eyes again, everything was ready to begin. We've been ignoring the fact that we were friends. We've been killing each other in order to get out of here, as Monokuma ordered. That's the reason why we're in the Kisaragi Foundation's research laboratory. The cause that started all the incidents. And the culprit who created the situation. The identity of the mastermind, the culprit of everything. It's really unbelievable. I don't want to believe it. I have no choice but to accept it, the true nature of the mastermind. Kane Taira, the fact it was you. There was something I could say about that picture right there, but I'm not going to say it. This is the truth. I won't run away from reality anymore. A murderer who deceives us and killed our friends. You're our enemy now, Akane Taira. I can't do the laugh like you can. Yeah, I can't do the laugh like you can do it. Yeah, I can't do that like you can. It almost sounded like my Nagito laugh there. You remember when I tried to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, halfway point, okay. So now we gotta do all the stuff with the tragedy and all that stuff. That shouldn't be too hard. I think we've kind of pieced together a bulk of the stuff here. Where it shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. There's only like a few mysteries I'm unsure about right now with the overarching story. Wait, what just happened? The screen just cracked. I think the biggest mystery I have left to like determine specifically is how does Yuki fit into all this? That's the only big.
Before we go further, we might want to pause here because I don't know how much longer this case will be, but I do have class at 2:40.
Okay.
About 2 hours from now.
Okay.
So if we start now, we might not be able to finish the rest before I need to go. Because I still need to like get lunch and stuff before class.
Suddenly wishing I canceled my shift for tonight. Oh well. Alright then, I guess that's fine. As much as I want to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll have enough time to go through the rest of this.
Yeah, we'd have to leave it on. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll be back to it tomorrow then. Well, alright then, everybody. I'm sorry that's kind of a short stream today by comparison, but, yeah, we have lives. So, we will be back, tomorrow, presumably, to, finish up this chapter. So, we'll figure out what happened, in the time we lost, figure out how much memory we've lost, figure out, hopefully, how Yuki fits into all this, hopefully figure out what Akane's connection to Junko is, and why our class had to be involved in the first place.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the mystery of what actually caused Kisaragi's bomb detonator to actually go off.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll uncover all that next time. So I guess that's it for right now. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I've been Mr. Grinchman, once again along with ACP. Join us tomorrow for the, I guess, probably penultimate stream, because there might be one extra stream after that for like all the, maybe the extra content, which I think there is like a small bit of it.
Yeah, it'll either be, I guess, there'll probably two, I imagine. We'll probably maybe get to the end of this trial, and then maybe do whatever epilogue stuff, depending on how long it takes us.
Yeah. So, well, so hopefully we'll get that done. Hopefully we will be finishing Trial 6 in the next stream.
Yeah.
So, yeah, join us next time for Danganronpa Another Despair Academy. I've been Mr. Grinchman along with ACP. Thanks for joining us, and have a good rest of the day, everybody. Goodbye.